I often say to people's shock and amazement that my well being is my top priority. Maybe it wouldn't be so shocking if a guy was saying it, but for a woman, and one with children no less, well, that's a bold statement to make. Welcome to Possibilities with me, Hina Khan. I am a peak performance coach and I help my clients create a life they love and one that is rich in all areas. And we do it with ease, joy, and fun. Not available for the hard, the struggle, or the grind. Yep, I said it. My well-being is my top priority. And this shows up in the mundane to what might be considered really big decisions. It really starts with this one question that I ask myself often. What would feel good? What would I love? If everything I believe is true, how do I want it to be? Now, these were not natural questions to ask myself at one time. For me, the natural questions was something like this. Let me know if you can relate. What would so-and-so think? Do I really need this or that? If I do it, well, then people may judge me. It could take time away from my family. I can wait, maybe next year. Now's not the right time. Let me know if any of that sounds familiar. I know it does. I can probably, let me see. Yeah, I can sense you nodding your head. And that really was what it was like for me most of my life. And here's the crazy part. I never questioned it. I never questioned it. And not only did I run with that narrative, most of the people I surrounded myself ran with that narrative. Most of the people that I followed or the groups I was engaged in were talking or thinking in this way. And it took some time, but I changed this. And the reason that it actually took time was because of judgments. I judged myself for even having the idea to put myself first. I judged myself as selfish, and Lord knows what I thought others were judging me for. So for this to change, it wasn't enough just to say, well, maybe I'll just try putting myself first. Honestly, it was like on repeat, over and over again, asking myself, what would I want? What would I want? What would I want? I had to keep reinforcing it because I was still in the same environment, which set me up to put others ahead of me. I'm going to just say that again for some of you that might be in that. You want to change something, and so you have an idea of what you would like to change in the way that you're doing things, but you're in the environment that supports you not changing, that supports, admires, maybe reinforces, validates you doing things the way that you were doing it, putting everybody else first. There's something that really happens when you decide to change something. And this is actually what we talked about in an earlier episode. It's called the law of opposites. Napoleon Hill alludes to this in his chapter in Think and Grow Rich. The chapter's on persistence. And I dedicated a whole episode to the law of opposites, so we'll put that in the description and you can check it out. Making my well-being my top priority is now a way of being. It literally has made me feel so free. In fact, I don't know if there's anything freer, and I'll give you a recent example. As you may know, over the summer, I was in Arizona. I was working with my coach. I was there for a month, and I was changing hotels. The hotels had been booked way in advance. And as we were getting closer and closer, my energy was just changing. I didn't love the area. Now, I didn't really know the area, but there was just something about it. I wasn't crazy about it. So then we pull up, and I actually knew before I got out of the car that this wasn't for me. It was different than the pictures. And I had to spend 6 days there. And I knew I didn't want to spend six days there. But the deadline to cancel had long passed. It had long passed, but it didn't matter. In that moment, because this is now a habit and a way that I think of what would I love, what do I want, it was a clear, I don't want to be here, I want to be somewhere else. So in that moment, I made a decision. I didn't even go look at the room. I didn't have to look at the room. I didn't go look at the property. I just made a decision that I was leaving. So I chose a different hotel, one that we were looking at. So I kind of had it in my emails and I called the Uber. I didn't even know if there was any availability at that hotel, but I just made my way over there. In the car, I got a call from Kayla. She had taken care of all of my travel arrangements and she felt bad that I didn't like the property. And she said, okay, I will take care of the cancellation, but I want you to know that we may or may not get a refund. While she was looking into that, I am now pulling into the property. And as I'm doing this, the property that was looking at on my phone, I'm just feeling so different. I don't know if you've ever felt this, like you're driving up and I'm just feeling like, yes, this is it. This feels so right. And so right there in the lobby, I booked the rooms for that hotel. So those rooms are booked. Kayla calls me back to let me know we actually did get a refund. And this is what was so freeing for me. I am so connected to my energy and wants that I didn't even need to know if I could cancel or get a refund before I made the decision. My well-being is my top priority. Always. Always. If it doesn't feel good, I don't do it. If it doesn't feel right, I pass on it. Sometimes I refer to myself as a vibrational snob, and I really do mean that, and I'm proud of that. What is freeing about this is not worrying about what other people will think, that other people will be inconvenienced, that I should justify staying somewhere that I don't want to because, well, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's only 6 days. I mean, I don't have the kids. I'm on my own here. Like there's so many pluses. Oh, I don't want to seem high maintenance. And here's another part to the story that would have maybe rattled me before. The people at the front are really, really nice. Can I tell you? The people that were like checking you in, it was these two young women. They were adorable. They were so sweet. They were so pleasant. They were like, oh, you don't want to stay? And I was like, no. They were like, okay, no problem. We can't, cancel it for you. You'll have to talk to your agent. Like they were so sweet. But do I stay in a place that doesn't feel good because the people are nice? The people that I will barely see. But what's so interesting is there was a time when I would have actually considered it. I would have actually considered it and made it part of the decision. And maybe that was their last day before they were taking off for a week or something. But I would have actually considered that maybe I should stay because they're nice people here. So here's what I realized. I can think they are nice and I can leave. This is the blessing of the work that I do on myself and others. It is this. It is the freedom to be you. So as you get to know who you are, what your values are, what your priorities are, and as you do not judge yourself, the beautiful thing is you stop judging other people, and then you get to make decisions that feel good for you without judging yourself as being good or bad in those decisions, because you know that you are good. You know that you are loved. You know that you are kind. And you can leave a property that doesn't feel right. I really want to reinforce this one piece, that when you stop judging yourself, you will stop judging others. And when you give the freedom to yourself to be you, you will give the freedom to others to be themselves. you are no longer policing their actions. So if you want to start to make your well-being your top priority, just start with this question. Anytime that you have to make a decision, what would I love? What would I love? What would I love? I want to know what you would love. So let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, download, all the things. And I will see you here next time.